Coming out is an ongoing struggle, initially within oneself. It's very scary and isolating when you feel as though you're an outsider. On top of self-acceptance, individuals continually wonder if others will accept them for who they are. Here's how these individuals came out to themselves, their friends, and their family.
I was married when those two shows came on, so even though I finally knew it was okay, I'm married, I have children, I have responsibilities, I can't just abandon them all, so I still sort of kept myself hidden from my family because I had a pretty good idea how it would go over.
The first person I came out to, I won't say her name, but it was a friend that I met in my my first year of university. She was still in high school. There were a lot of rumors circulating that I was in love with her, like I had a lot of feelings for her, because she moved to Toronto and I'd visit her a lot. And I thought she had a strong gay network. One of her cousins was gay. She would, I guess the term fag came out, and she was just in that community. So I thought if I would hang out with her, she'd help me out with it. And then there was all these rumors saying that we were in love with each other. So finally, when I did come out to her, she found it a big relief, and I was like, oh no, I'm not in love with you at all. And then after that, I felt a little more comfortable, and the next person was my cousin. Huge support to me. And then it was just one after that. It took a long time. I think it took over a year and a half to fully come out.
It didn't go over well with my spouse, which is understandable that she felt I had betrayed her, lied to her. My daughters, being very, very young, it was like, it just went over their heads. It didn't matter to them at all. And that's what they say, the younger you learn, the better. Of course, this eventually led to divorce, etc., etc.
I did end up coming out when I was 19 years old, the summer before I turned 20. I came out to my friends at school. It wasn't really a big deal because they kind of, like I said earlier, it was like kind of like the elephant in the room. Everybody kind of knew already, and it was just a matter of actually saying something. I think a lot of people, at least in my experience, when they're coming out, they're waiting for someone to ask them if they're gay, and then that kind of opens the door for them to do so. And so with everyone at school kind of saying, Allison, you're a lesbian, just admit it, I was finally ready to do that.
You know, Pink's a great musician, and in her song, Dear Mr. President, the line in it, how could a father hate his daughter for being gay, it reminds me a lot of my father. So the story with my dad is, my parents got divorced when I was in grade 9. I moved up to Canada with my mom. My dad stayed back in Kentucky. So we tried to see each other, tried to talk, you know, use the internet as much as we could. The relationship got strained a little bit because we weren't talking as much as we wanted to. But anyways, one day he had friends over, and they decided to Google their children. So my dad Googled my name and turned up on a Facebook account that my sexuality was bisexual. So we went through email fights about that. He's a religious guy, and was not okay with his daughter being in a relationship with a woman. So he basically disowned me. Things got a little tense, you know, I had conversations with my brother about it, that kind of stuff. But I mean, it took me 19 years myself to come to terms with who I was and finally accept it. So it's gonna take everybody around you a little bit of time as well. I don't think he's ever gonna come around. My mom's come around quite a lot. My brother, on the other hand, it took maybe a second to go through, and he was fine. He's like, yeah, okay, doesn't matter, you're my sister. I've got friends that are gay, you know what? Life goes on. What's the next topic? So he was completely accepting. The rest of my family I was a little nervous about, but ended up bringing one of my girlfriends at the time to a family function, and it came out that way, and it seemed to be welcomed with warm arms. I mean, it's not like something that's talked about every day or anything like that. It's just because Jessica's bi, Jessica has a girlfriend. It's not really a big deal.
Yeah, coming out last year, it was as Michael was like a weight lifted off my chest. Well, I came out January 27th to a friend first, and then it took me about 2 months to write a letter to my mom. It started off with a 15-page letter, handwritten, down to a 5-page typed. And for my mom, who doesn't know how to work a computer or MSN, the night that I sent it was the night she learned how to use it. And I was here with my roommate, and she goes, we need to talk. So I went white as a ghost, picked up the phone and called home, and my mom's reaction was, are you going to finally tell me after all these years what's going on? And I said, okay. I took a deep breath and I said, Mom, I've never been your daughter. And before I could finish my line, my mom goes, no, you've always been my son. So I dropped my phone, picked it up, and I went, is this my mother I'm talking to? She accepted it really well at first. My sister didn't want me around my nieces. My family all at West been very supportive, have called me Michael from day one, using the male pronouns so I don't have to worry about anybody messing up those. Some friends I've lost, some friends I've gained since the transition. My sister has recently come around, which is good, and same with my 2 nieces. They now call me Uncle Mike. And my mom made a big step 2 weeks ago and introduced me as the first time as her son to people that didn't know me. Yeah, it's been nice to have their support again.
Now your nieces, how old are they?
My oldest niece is 9, and I've got a 4-year-old niece.
Okay, so does the 4-year-old remember you as?
The only thing that changed for her was calling me from what she was calling me as Aunt Mimi now to Uncle Mike. That was the only thing that she had to switch, but I was always he to her. My older niece took a little bit to get around to doing the Uncle Mike.